Today, the biggest news comes from the Middle East. Russia is now entering the Iranian war from the shadows by bringing in drone warfare expertise forged in Ukraine. At the same time, the United States has turned to Ukrainian specialists to defend its bases from Iranian and now Russian drone strikes. This means both sides are now applying the same battlefield experience against each other in a new theater of war. The main development is that Russia is entering the Iranian conflict through operational support. Moscow is deploying its own drone specialists to assist Iran in planning and executing drone strikes against US and allied targets in the region. This mirrors the Ukrainian specialists now being sent to support American and Gulf defenses. Reports indicate that Washington has asked Ukraine to help defend US bases and troops against Iranian Shahed drones. Ukrainian forces have gained extensive experience in countering these drones during the war with Russia, making them one of the most capable forces in the world when it comes to intercepting and neutralizing this specific type of threat. Separate reporting indicates that Russia has also expanded its support through satellite imagery and improved drone-related assistance. This allows strike patterns to be continuously adjusted based on real-time battlefield feedback. In practice, this means Iranian drone operations can become more adaptive and more difficult to counter. Russia is not joining the war openly with its own forces, but it is shaping how the war is fought from behind the front line. In the same way, Ukraine is shaping the defense on the other side. This creates a unique situation where the tactical knowledge developed during the war in Ukraine is now being exported to another conflict. Iran needs this assistance because Ukraine has become the most experienced force in intercepting Shahed drones, and that expertise is now being exported to US and Gulf defenses. Russia, however, is currently the most experienced force in launching these drones under real battlefield pressure. This includes adjusting how drones approach targets so they are detected later and arrive in coordinated waves that overwhelm air defenses. By launching multiple drones simultaneously from different directions and altitudes, attackers can increase the probability that at least some drones reach their intended targets. British officials have also acknowledged this development. Britain's Defense Secretary John Healey and Chief of Joint Operations Lieutenant General Nick Perry said Iran and its proxies were increasingly using Russian drone tactics and had likely received Russian tactical advice. This suggests that Iran is turning to Russia to counter a defense model that is already optimized against its own systems. Without that support, Iran's drone campaign risks becoming predictable and losing effectiveness as American and Gulf defenses adapt Ukrainian counter-drone methods. Russia's support extends beyond tactics. Reports indicate that Moscow has provided Iran with targeting information, including the locations of American warships and aircraft in the Middle East. Later, this support reportedly expanded through satellite imagery and additional drone-related assistance. This effectively allows Russia to guide Iranian strikes toward US assets by helping identify targets, confirm their presence, and improve the accuracy of attacks. It also shortens the decision cycle between detection and strike execution, increasing the likelihood of successful hits. The Kremlin has denied parts of these reports. However, taken together, the available information points to a broader Russian role in shaping how Iran conducts strikes against American forces in the region. Russia's involvement is also driven by economic incentives. According to reports, revenues from Russia's main oil extraction taxes are expected to rise sharply due to higher global oil prices caused by instability in the Gulf region. Rising oil prices directly increase Russian state income, while Moscow continues financing its war in Ukraine. This means that prolonged instability in the Middle East can translate into immediate financial gains for the Russian government. Higher oil prices increase export revenues without requiring higher production, making geopolitical instability economically advantageous for Moscow. The second major reason is geopolitical. Iran remains one of Russia's most important anti-Western partners. If Iran's military credibility were to collapse, Russia's influence across the Middle East would weaken significantly. Helping Iran remain militarily effective, therefore serves Russia's broader strategic interests. By supporting Iran indirectly, Moscow strengthens an ally while also complicating the strategic environment for the United States and its partners. Overall, this points to a conflict that may last longer than expected. Both sides are now reinforcing their capabilities, using battlefield experience gained from the war in Ukraine. If Russia continues expanding its support, Iranian strikes could become more coordinated and harder to neutralize. This would increase sustained pressure on U.S. positions in the region and force Washington to commit more air defense assets and personnel to the Middle East. Such a shift would reduce American military flexibility in other regions, including Europe and the Indo-Pacific. Strategically, this transforms the Middle East into a secondary arena influenced by the war in Ukraine. At the same time, the growing role of drone warfare highlights how modern conflicts are increasingly shaped by unmanned systems and remote operations. Lessons learned in one war can quickly be transferred to another, changing the balance of power in unexpected ways. Drone technology is rapidly becoming one of the most important factors in modern military strategy. Countries that master both the offensive and defensive aspects of drone warfare gain a significant advantage in modern conflicts. As the situation develops, the Middle East could become a testing ground for the next generation of drone warfare tactics. What began as a regional conflict may increasingly reflect the broader strategic competition between global powers. And now we want to hear your opinion. Do you think Russia's involvement will significantly change the balance of power in the Middle East? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next updates on global conflicts and military developments.